Classic literature used to be a part of everyday conversation. So, what happened? As something to be lived with, started treating it like something to survive in school, or worse, something that you use Sparks Cliff Notes for back in high school in the 90s. Timed essays, forced interpretations, and pressure to get the right meaning completely change how we approach classic literature as a society. If you scroll on TikTok, Instagram, or any other medium where people are sharing the works that they love the most, oftentimes than not, it's usually related to spicy romance, which I do love, or maybe it's something even more fantasy or fiction based. We don't really see creators talking about the classic. But here's the thing, classics were never meant to feel like homework. They are deeply psychological, emotional, and social works of art. And they also teach us about human behavior just set in a different area and in a different linguistic writing style. The reason why reading classic literature feels so hard right now is not because it's inaccessible, because we were never taught how to slow down with it. And in this culture of intense and immediate gratification and dopamine filled routines, the thought of reading a line by line or even 2 pages a day just seems tiresome for most. If you want to start reading classic literature as a feminine intellectual, start slowly. Choose annotated editions or modern translations. There's even manga and comics related to classic literature, and I love to use this myself as a trained librarian and information scientist that wants to get a different and a better understanding. If you're a woman that has entered her self-study, research, feminine intellectual era, let me advise you on the best 5 free resources as a concierge librarian and a trained information scientist. The first resource is JSTOR.org. Depended heavily upon this resource. I was in my master's in library and information science degree program, able to easily find peer-reviewed articles and also information that related directly to my master's thesis. This is something that you can access even if you do not have a .edu college email address. The next resource is Google Scholar. Think of it as Google for researchers. When I worked in tech and I had self-study or self-research topics that I want to do around AI and governance, is where I went to during my workday. You can find dissertations. You can even find court case studies for those of you who like legal research topics. If you're a woman that wants to start reading classic literature, Project Gutenberg is the resource for you. There are over 70,000 classic literature pieces on there, as well as books that delve into philosophy and some spiritual topics. As a former pre-med student turned humanities woman that is a librarian, I recommend PubMed for the women who want to get into articles relating to women's health, psychology, health, and wellness that is also peer reviewed. When I worked as an educator and a teacher librarian, this resource was used quite heavily every single week. It is the Smithsonian Open Access. There are millions of free objects, articles, and images that you can utilize. And for those of you who were former A-push students in high school, you're going to love this website. Down below, the free research resources that you use to become a feminine intellectual woman.